You know what I'm saying? And then once it got out there, you know what I'm saying? Let it fly from your mouth, but you wasn't stable here in the mind. You weren't rooted and grounded, but you was speaking. You was basically speaking without counting the cost, man, of what this might cost you by saying what you were saying. What might be the repercussions of you speaking this out verbally, you know what I'm saying, and putting it out so others to see it. This wasn't a conversation you had in confidence, privately. It was an open interview. You were speaking now, you basically your mind was like you wanted to say that. And sometimes I be thinking some of you celebrities, you be trying to use this truth, and you be as like you know, like you on some kind of level. You be using like you intelligent, like you kicking knowledge and shit, like you using it into to gain some type of, I don't know, you know, some type of you know, like you trying to use it as a way to bring attention to yourself. So people are like, oh, he's deep. Oh, he got knowledge. Oh, he's smart. Oh, he know this. Oh, he, you know, that's what I think a lot of y'all do, man. You use that, try to use it for your benefit, man, but you don't stand behind it. Which is why when they got out there, and Esau didn't even fuck around with you. Matter of fact, I want to bring up something, man. So you had Arsenio Hall years ago. This is the 90s, right? Arsenio Hall had the #1 late night show, right? Late night evening show. I believe he passed his ratings, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, he passed like Johnny Carson, and I think, if I'm not sure if Jay Leno was out, but he had the #1. The fact is, he had the #1 late night show. You know, everybody was watching his show. He had all the interviews. So he used to go to his audience and ask his audience, you know, like who they want to see him interview, who they want to come to the couch, right? And, you know, different people were said, but then, like, Farrakhan came up a couple times. So finally, this man announced that he was going to bring Farrakhan on the show. You know, of course, you know, Farrakhan is from the Nation of Islam. They're Muslims. And, of course, you know, the network's owned by the so-called Jews. So they put it out. They told, you know, they came to him, probably came to him, I'm assuming, privately, and told him, you can't have Farrakhan on the show. You need to announce that he's not going to be on the show. He can't get on the show. And I'm pretty sure Arsenio probably was like, this is a speculation, you know, on my opinion, but my opinion is based on the reality of what took place. So he probably told him, he had to have told him, like, no, I'm having him on. I've already announced that I'm bringing him on the show. And if I'm not mistaken, they like announced to the news or the public or whatever, word got out. I remember that. Word got out if Arsenio actually goes through with having Farrakhan on the show, that the Arsenio Hall show will be canceled. And you can research this. You can go back online and research all this. So, you know, I guess this nigga Arsenio just thought his show was just, hey, I'm the #1. I got the #1 late night show. You're not gonna cancel me. You're not gonna cancel my show. I made you too much money. I'm making you too much money. You know, ratings are through the roof. Everybody watched the Arsenio Hall show. You know, it was a badass show. So he just, I guess, was just figuring. He just thought in his mind they weren't gonna do it. Obviously, because no one's gonna make career suicide like that. If you really knew that they was gonna cancel your shit, you wouldn't do it. The right thing to do, and what you should have done, you should have took them goddamn devils serious. You should have understood that they wasn't fucking around. I guess you didn't know the different, how severe the war is between the Jews, the so-called Jewish, and Muslims. You know, I guess you don't know what the fuck take place in the Middle East for the last freaking umpteen years. All that's been going on. Yes, Arsenio didn't understand or know the history on that, and he thought they was bluffing. What he really should have did was, he should have announced, like, hey, the executives of the show is not backing the fact that I wanted our Louis Farrakhan and to come on the show, and they you know, they've informed me that if he comes on the show, it will be the end of the show. I don't want to jeopardize that show. I don't want to jeopardize the canceling of the show for myself or for my fans or those who care about the show. So unfortunately, we won't be able to have Farrakhan on the show. But you want to be this big high might pro-black nigga and go ahead and go through with it. And them motherfucking Jews, they let you hang yourself. They knew it. And you tried to call that bluff, and they wasn't no bluff, man. That was no warning. That was a guarantee. And then he had Farrakhan on, and he ain't had nobody else on after that because they canceled that nigga show. Nick Cannon should have understood that. You should have understood that. But you didn't. You didn't. Like, I guess it was before your time or whatever, but you shouldn't have been. Nigga, you're not too much age different from me, so you saw the Arsenio Hall show. You know what the hell took place. You should have knew clearly what you should and should not do. Should have been a good house nigga like you should have been. But no, you a house nigga that look out on the porch and see the real, you know, the field niggas thinking that you need to be one of them. I guess. And I'm saying that the separation. A house nigga is you damn celebrities, you motherfuckers in the world. But the field niggas, quote unquote, is those that are in the trenches, man. That ain't living that type of life, don't have it good. It's suffering, you know. And I'm equating that to the men of the Lord that's doing the work, because those that are out in the field work hard. And they suffering the conditions in the scorching heat, in the humidity, you know, and the sun beating down, and the mosquitoes, and all the insects, and you know, coming working all the goddamn day with blisters and working, busting their ass, man. That's men of the Lord, man, is actually doing the work and suffering that persecution and that affliction. That's the difference, man. But no, you thinking you know, you want to step into this Hebrew Israelite thing. You want to step into this like, oh, you think it's for you. You gonna go and run off your mouth. They fired your ass. They wasn't fucking around with you. They fired you right away. They didn't play no games. You said what you said, they fired your ass, and they came and talking about, nigga, you need to apologize. You need a strong, serious public apology. And then you did it. You didn't mess around with the apology. You hurry up and retract what you said. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Satan come and put that affliction, that persecution. The scriptures say, you remember, read it again. Verse 17, it says, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time, because you've been saying that you took it on the faith and or you took it on the belief of the Hebrew, of you're a Hebrew Israelite. This has been a couple years that you said. You just go back a few years that you announced that, but you ain't never spoke against the so-called white man. You ain't spoke against Amalek like that. These Amalekites, these false Jews. You ain't spoke on them like that. You ain't spoke on who God's chosen people is like you just recently did. So you was enduring for a little time, then you opened your mouth. Afterwards, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So that persecution and that affliction for the word's sake was when you spoke out, and they hurried up and fired your ass. They fired your ass quick. Ended your, I don't know how long Wild 'N Out been on air for. They canned you. They didn't even get rid of the show. I believe they just cut your ass. And everybody else on the show, they just gonna replace you with a host. And the brother was telling me that the host is an Edomite. They didn't even get another nigga to replace you. They spitting in your face. We're gonna get a white boy to host Wild 'N Out. While you're gone, he gonna step in and take your place. This is exactly what the so-called white man would do. Try to take a place of another so-called black man. And they just cut your ass. They just, you know, they wasn't playing around, boy. They got rid of you quick. And you saw them checks not coming. That you realize, oh man, I'm used to these checks coming. They not gonna be coming in. So you hurry up and apologize. You hurry up and just, oh no, hell no. Posted that public apology. And took down the video too. You sucker ass nigga, man. Verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entered in, choketh the word, and it become unfruitful. And that's exactly what happened to you. They got the choking and scratching and clawing and snatching your checks. And you didn't even, that's all that you faced too. You ain't even faced nothing else. You ain't even went through nothing. The Most High ain't put no real affliction on you. Nigga got money up in the bank. You can't tell me you ain't loaded. You loaded. Like you didn't even put up any type of resistance or fight to try to stand on what you so-called believe. The nigga just gave up. Just, you know, like Like somebody come and threaten you for what you believe, and they start walking to you and you just bow the fuck down. You didn't even put up a fight. You don't even know if the punch that man throw can even hurt you. You just didn't even want to risk taking the hit. That's why you need to, like, you celebrities need to stay back, man. Stay in your lanes, man. You know, if anything, be a secret, you know, a secret Israelite, man. Matter of fact, let me get a preset right quick. Bear with me for a moment. This is the best, like, scenario for you celebrities, man, and find out about the truth, man. This is Galatians 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Then 14 years after, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas," this is Paul speaking, "and took Titus with me also. And I went up by revelations and communication, and communicated unto them that gospel which I preached among the Gentiles, privately to them which were of reputation, lest by any means I should run in vain." So there's men that Paul would speak to and would teach, but they would teach to them privately, right? Because those were men of reputation, celebrities, so you can understand. Those are men who are known among the public, among the people. They were celebrities. So they didn't want to get entangled in what comes with what they believe, so they were being taught privately, and they were being ministered unto. And they, of course, they probably was paying their tithes. They were giving offerings and helping the ministry as much as they can, bringing certain people to the ministry. They were doing what they can privately, but they didn't want their reputation to supersede the ministry or supersede their place in the ministry. So therefore, they kept it on the private, kept it on the low, so that nobody know. But they were doing what they can do. And you know, you had men like that back in those times, like Joseph of Arimathea. He was one that believed and he was in the faith, but he had financial gain and opportunities to help the ministry that way. You could have been like that, Nick Cannon, Deshaun Jackson, all you celebrities. This scripture was there for you. That's what you should do, because you don't have what it takes to get out there. You don't have what it takes to hit the streets and put it all on the line. You're not going to do that. So you should just keep yourself on a private tip. You know, reach out to whoever you're following that you got your teachings from, reach out to them and help any ways that you can in that way. And keep your reputation private. I mean, keep your reputation intact. And so because Esau will demonize you. He will straight demonize you. You can follow this truth and do what you have to do in the truth, helping the ministry and stabilizing your walk. Get stable, get grounded, you know, in this truth. So therefore, if one day you can be able to just denounce that, or if it does get out that this is what you're about, that you're rooted and grounded and built up to where you can absorb that when Esau come at you. Why? Because through the years, the Most High have been raising you up. But a nigga like you, no, that wasn't good enough for you. You want to come out, because you was basically trying to heap on, like, you was trying to heap praises unto yourself. You was making it about yourself, like, yeah, I'm kicking all this knowledge. Really was heaping hot coals on your ass, on your head, man. Because the so-called white man didn't fuck around with you. Snatch goodies up from up under your fucking